Alright squad, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Modern Warfare 2 Search and Destroy. We've officially made it. It is launch week. We could finally let MW19 go and play a new game, which also means learning a new Search and Destroy. The past couple years I have made videos going over everything you need to know about Search and Destroy before the game comes out so that you guys know what to unlock and what to use so that you are best capable of dropping 20s and 1v6 clutching. So that is what we are doing today. We are going over everything you need to know to succeed in Modern Warfare 2 Search and Destroy. First things first, if you're new to the channel, I need you to unfull screen the video or wherever you're looking. Just look at the subscriber count of the channel. You might notice it's extremely close to 100,000. If you are new, I post Search and Destroy. You obviously like Search and Destroy because you clicked on this video. Please consider hitting that button and joining the squad. I will be making lots of Search and Destroy videos on Modern Warfare 2. So join the squad, help us hit 100K. I'm really trying to get that plaque on my wall. It would mean a lot. All right, first things first, let's just look at S&D as a whole. Modern Warfare 2 Search and Destroy is the exact same as MW19 as far as timer goes, rule set, bomb plant, defuse times, partial plant, all that stuff is back for MW19. It is exactly the same. There is one change though. You can now let go of the bomb on offense. If you pick up the bomb, you can let it go if you don't want to plant it. You can give it to another teammate. You can do that in this game now, which is key, especially for those people that accidentally pick up the bomb. Please, I am begging you, if you accidentally pick it up Modern Warfare 2, there's a feature now. Let it go. Let someone who wants to actually plant it pick it up. Don't just rush into their spawn and die with the bomb. You're going to cost your whole team the round. Don't do that. Drop the bomb. It's a new feature. Very glad they added that. Now, probably the most controversial topic when it comes to this game, that is the movement. You can no longer slide cancel. I know there are ways to do it in the beta, but the thing is I would be pretty shocked if those ways to slide cancel still worked in the full game. They were actively during the beta trying to patch all those ways we were finding to slide cancel. There was a bunch of different ways people were figuring out, and they were patching just about all of them by the end of the beta. I would be pretty positive that they're going to be all gone by the time the game comes out unless people find more new ways to do it once it drops. But most likely, you're not going to be able to slide cancel, but you are able to dive in the game, which is very helpful, and utilizing that for rushing was actually a good thing in the beta. For those of you that do not know, if you dived in the beta, it reset your tac sprint. You could dive, get back up, you'd have your tac sprint back, and it was much faster than just sprinting and waiting for your tac sprint to come back. It was essentially the same thing as slide cancel and you reset tac sprint Modern Warfare 19. You would just dive instead, so keep note of that when you are trying to rush. Besides that, the normal MW19 movement is back. You can still bunny hop, you can drop shot, you can jump shot, etc. The drop shotting is a little nerfed, just a tad. Your gun isn't like perfectly aimed the whole time you go down, but you could still ADS the whole time. It just kind of goes in and out real quick as you're going down. So that does affect you a little bit, but not a whole lot. Field upgrades. Now, a few field upgrades in the beta that were actually helpful and useful Search and Destroy, in my opinion. Dead silence, portable radar, and portable decoy. Now, yes, I actually just put the decoy on the list. If you played the beta, people were not prepared for the decoy, and I think the decoys will be good for the first few months of the game for the sake of people not really being used to them. I mean, to this day, I could still throw a paint spray on the wall in Modern Warfare 19 to confuse people with it and get them to shoot it, and it lets me know where they are, and it's actually helpful. Portable decoys did that on steroids in the beta, and it was actually pretty hilarious to use and surprisingly pretty helpful, so they are worth a try. Portable radar, also very strong. The problem is once they get ghost, it's completely useless, but if you throw one down before you get ghost, your team can actually see the radar when it's down. So you get a few people on your team to throw down radars, you can practically cover the whole map and know where everybody is in those first few rounds when people do not have dead silence. Very helpful. Now, your most important field upgrade, the field upgrade we're going to use the most is, of course, dead silence. Now, they did change it a little bit. I hope when the game fully launches, they make some minor changes and make dead silence a little bit better. But unfortunately, they did nerf it. In my opinion, you can't call it dead silence in this game. You call it almost silent, because when you do pop it, it makes a ringing noise that enemies can hear, and then once that ringing noise go away, they can still sound whore you when you're close to them. So it's not completely silent, it is almost silent. So just keep that in mind when you're rushing. Be careful when you're rush flanking an enemy with dead silence. Be sure to crouch when you get real close to them before you take them out, just because you don't want them to hear you last second and turn on you and totally post you on TikTok. That would suck. Moving on from dead silence, let's talk about the footsteps in Modern Warfare 2. as we all know, Infinity Ward really wants this game catered to sentinels, aka campers. So the footsteps are super loud. We all spent 3 years of Modern Warfare 19 hoping they'd make them lower and thinking they would make them lower in the MW2 game when we finally got a chance to play it. And then we got a chance to play it in the beta, and they were super loud. And is honestly probably the biggest flaw with this game is how much it is catered to the campers, in the sense of you cannot move without someone knowing where you are. But there are a few ways that you're going to want to tactically play with your footsteps in order to rush. If you're an aggressive player like myself, you want to know the ways to do that. There are a few ways to work with your footsteps. You just got to be careful. Don't sprint 24/7. You're going to do a lot of sprinting, and then stop, ADS walk. When you ADS walk, you're a little bit quieter. And then when you crouch walk, you're very quiet. So keep that in mind. You want to rush up, stop, crouch, peek corners. You're going to want to play it a little slower and a little less bunny hop around the corner in this game, at least until we get used to all the normal spots to aim people at. Once we get used to those normal spots, then we can jump pre-fire them. But until then, I'd highly recommend, when you're just learning the game, hopping onto search and destroy. Utilizing the crouch walking, utilizing the ADS walking. And I'm not saying don't rush. I'm saying rush up and then stop, take a breath, and check your corners methodically, and then continue sprinting. Make sure you clear out your areas before you push. If you go in blind with how fast the kill time is in this game, you are going to get murdered every single time. Let that be known. Hopefully the footsteps are a little bit quieter on launch, but I honestly don't expect them to be, with the way this game seems to be very catered towards the Sentinel playstyle that they're calling it. Next on my list is the perk system, which is a little bit weird. We get 4 perks. It's essentially a dumbed down version of Specialist from MW19. For those guys that didn't play the game, those of you guys that have, you understand how it works, and we're back at it. You get 2 perks off the rip, then as you play, you get 2 more. Now, the thing I want to note here is what are some important perks you need to run for Search and Destroy if you want to succeed. When the game comes out, the class setup we were running to play aggressive and S&D, for the most part, my friend group was all running Double Time, Quick Fix, EOD, and Ghost. That was the go-to. We weren't running High Alert. We had Ghost on instead. It just made more sense. We had Quick Fix to get those heals off the rip, and then we had EOD and Double Time for rushing and avoiding the equipment, and there is a lot of equipment in this game that can kill you. So EOD over Tac Mask honestly was the best move. The Tac Mask in the game wasn't very good. It really wasn't. It was very much like MW19, where Battle Hardened was kind of useless. It's kind of a similar thing. Much prefer EOD over it personally. I think that those are the 4 perks you're going to want to unlock the instant the game comes out. We don't know what levels they're going to be locked behind, but keep that in mind when working towards that first really good Search and Destroy class. Double Time, Quick Fix, EOD, Ghost was kind of the meta build for the beta when it comes to rushing and Search and Destroy. Equipment, helpful equipment in the beta. We got a few options here. Stim rushing, drill charges, and flashes. Now, I said stim rushing. I got asked this a lot during the beta, and I'm still seeing comments on it on my beta videos. Yes, you can stim rush in this game. This actual using of the stim is a little bit slower than what it was in Modern Warfare, but you can still use it to reuse your tac sprint and rush quicker and have double tac sprint the whole time with Double Time and get a lot of routes off. I was doing it all beta long. You watch all my beta videos, you see me doing it. Stim rushing is back. Highly recommend doing that if you want to play Search and Destroy and play aggressive. Now, new equipment we have called the drill charge. This is something that is absolutely awesome, and it's going to be very helpful for rushing, I think, simply because you can throw it behind a wall and kill some campers with it, or at least let you know that there are some campers. If any of you guys that do not know how the drill charge works, it is a grenade that goes through a wall. Essentially, you throw it at a wall, it kind of takes about a second, and then it pops a grenade on the other side of the wall and blows up in the room. You got a handful of kills within the beta. It wasn't super strong when it came from getting kills, but it was very good for getting hit markers and giving you information. It really is going to be helpful when clearing out a room or pushing into a bomb site in Search and Destroy. Being able to throw that drill charge in, make the enemies panic, make them get out of the way, and get a hit marker on them so you could pop in and help get that multi-kill and clear out the room. Highly recommend. Now, flashes. Flashes were insane. Flashes were insane in the beta. I really hope that they dumb them down a little bit, but if they don't, then for the first time, I think I actually prefer flashes to stuns in a game, because the flashes were, I mean, I was getting flashed in real life on stream when I was used to it. They were insane. They are insane when you get hit, and they last for a long time. If you don't like stim rushing and you like running a stun grenade, change that stun grenade out for a flash in this game. The flashes are unbelievable. Weapons. Now, I debated on talking about weapons in this video for Search and Destroy, but I figured I'd go in and throw them in. I expect these to be nerfed. Okay, these are the best guns to use to search and destroy in the beta. And in the past betas for Call of Duty, the best guns in the beta are never the best guns when the game fully comes out, because they nerf all of them before the game fully comes out. But I'm going to take note of it anyways. In the beta, the best weapons for search and destroy, the Scar was your number one. That was the absolute best gun in the game. I would be pretty shocked if the Scar is meta still when the game fully launches. But keep note of that. You might want to unlock it and try it, because if it is like the beta, then it is probably the best gun in the game. If they didn't touch it, that gun was unbelievable. You also have the AK-70 for you, the MP5, and the Fennec. Those were 3 of the 4 SMGs we had access to. The AK was technically an assault rifle, but it was the 74U, so it was kind of, I don't know what the deal is with that, but the AK was very nasty and felt just like the SMGs, even though it was in the rifle category. Very good. The MP5 also very strong. Honestly, the whole Lockman weapon tree was really strong. The MP5 though was nasty. And then the Fennec. I think the Fennec was really underrated because you couldn't unlock attachments for it, and you couldn't even glitch attachments on it like you could with the 74U. So nobody really used it, but it was my personal favorite gun to use from the beta. The Fennec was very strong, and I think is going to be one that's going to be slept on when the game fully comes out, because I think it's going to be really good once we can unlock some barrels on it and make it a higher damage range. That weapon will shred. Keep an eye on it. Be sure to try it out when you unlock it in the game. Last thing on my list, kill streaks for search and destroy. Unfortunately, we do not have specialists with this new perk system. I'm hoping that they'll maybe introduce some sort of new specialist type system that they'll give to us, let us have more perks, because if they do, I'm so gonna run that, because the kill streaks are kind of mid. They're kind of mid. The best ones for search and destroy, the trio I was running was the UAV, the SAE, and the VTOL. If any of you guys played Black Ops 2, the SAE was essentially the lightning strike. You get to drop an airstrike on 3 different spots on the map. It was pretty strong. Honestly, it was more helpful for looking at the mini-map, the giant mini-map that pulls up, and seeing where enemies are, because a lot of the maps in the beta had buildings, so it was really hard to like really get a lot of kills with it. I'm hoping on some more open maps it'll be better. But for now, it was pretty mid. UAV, very strong, because we can't get Ghost off the rip. Those first few rounds, if you get a UAV, it is detrimental, because nobody has Ghost, and you could just hunt every single enemy down. And then the VTOL. We all use the VTOL in MW19. It is back in this game. Is it as good as MW19's? No. It's good. It's good, but it's not as good. There is a trade-off, though. In MW19, one of the biggest complaints with the VTOL was how loud it was when it was called in. This VTOL is actually a lot quieter. You can actually hear people, like, you can hear yourself think when the VTOL is called in Modern Warfare 2, which is nice. Big upgrade from MW19, because you cannot hear shit when that thing is called in. But the VTOL isn't as strong. There's multiple scenarios where we watched enemies defuse the bomb, the VTOL on top of it. They only got like a handful of kills. It wasn't super OP like in MW19. Like I wasn't too concerned with hiding from it when somebody called one in, but it still got me a few kills when I used it. So since we don't have access to specialists, those were the 3 best kill streaks. I thought I used pretty much all of them. Only one I didn't really use was the gunship. I tried the chopper gunner. Chopper gunner was good, but you couldn't move it around. Once it's in the full game, if you can move it around, that'll be a lot better. But for now, best 3 for SD, honestly, UAV, SAE, VTOL. Those are my main 3. I ran that for most of the beta. Highly recommend. All right, squad, that's it for the video. I hope the information helped. Hope you now have some things to shoot for when unlocking stuff in Modern Warfare 2. Kind of have a better idea of what you want to run, and kind of a refresher if it's been a while since you played the beta and have kind of forgotten it like me. I realized the other day with the amount of slide cancel I get in MW19, I'm gonna have to get used to not doing that again all over again when the game fully launches. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and I will catch you all in the next one. It's Bazigger.